Take a look at Boston and Florida tonight on the schedule. It could be closing time as well for Florida if they do win. That'll be a 5-game series win. Swayman in net, Bobrovsky in net tonight. 2-10, a heavy favorite here for Florida. Will it be easy for Florida to put away Boston? And also, is Marchand expected to play in this game?
Never say never, like Boston could bounce back. This is a team that I've doubted them so much in the past, and they always find a way to prove me wrong. However, this is not a good look for Boston right now. They've been in this situation before, and it's really not panned out well for them when they were down 3-1 in a postseason series. And Florida's carrying all of the momentum right now. We'll see if Brad Marchand returns and if that can kind of add some life back into this Bruins lineup. But the way I've been seeing Florida play as of late, I mean, the last game, I know there was a little bit of contest about whether a goal was good or not and how that ended up panning out, but Florida was pretty much the dominant team regardless. So you don't want to be in that situation where you're Boston and you kind of let it come down to that in such a critical game. Florida has all the momentum. I feel like they've just put up so many shots on goal. They've gotten a lot of goals. They've rattled Boston a little bit, and it seems like this team really honestly could close it out.
Boston blew out Florida in the first game in Sunrise 5-1. Since then, the Panthers have won 3 straight, looking to bounce the Bees from the postseason for a second consecutive year. And now we go to Game 4 tonight in Edmonton. Again, the odds makers entering this series expected it to be quick and relatively easy for the Oilers. It's been anything but. Vancouver, a 2-1 series lead entering game number 4 tonight, but the odds makers favor the Oilers once again, close to a $2 favorite price on that money line. Does Edmonton draw even in Game 4 tonight?
This is the one series where, honestly, I don't have a read on what's going on because I feel like the Oilers were really set up. They had their best first-round series I've seen in the past couple of postseasons where they looked really dominant against LA for the first time in a while. And then Vancouver's having a lot of bad injury luck this postseason as well, with key pieces like Thatcher Demko being injured, and they're still able to rally against a very, very strong Edmonton team. You wonder if it's the same old story with the Oilers every single year where their core is just not able to make up for the deficiencies in their back end and their goaltending. And that's kind of what I've been seeing right now. There's still close games, right? There's a couple of 1-goal differential games in this series as well. So it could have honestly gone either way, but with the team that Vancouver has, Edmonton really had the opportunity to prove a point, and they just haven't. So they need to tie up this series. If Vancouver gets a 3-1 lead, the Oilers are going to be so deflated. I don't know if they can come back from that.
Yeah, take a look at that graphic that we just had up. Game 7 here is a plus 114 price, which means that's the favorite for this series to go 7. How exciting, certainly, would that be? Let's flip it over to the NHL Conference odds. And if we start in the Eastern Conference, the Panthers right now, Anna, are the favorites here at minus 105 to be the champions of the Eastern Conference and play for the Stanley Cup, followed by the Rangers, Hurricanes, and the Bruins at 23-1. Do we agree that the Panthers right now should be the favorite in the Eastern Conference, at least in the betting odds?
I think we do agree, just because Florida's showcased how dominant they've been against Boston. They have a very solid team. They have a lot of players who can score goals. They've been there before. If they play the Carolina Hurricanes, we know how that panned out last year. The Rangers are finally looking a little bit shaky after starting off this postseason undefeated. So that's kind of good for Florida as well. I feel like that's the team that has the most momentum and the strongest odds and the chances right now. Carolina, I feel like this series against the Rangers, both of those teams, they're just wearing each other out right now. So when they end up playing Florida, I don't know if it's going to look good for either of them, to be honest, even though I did have Carolina beating Florida in my Eastern Conference Finals predictions.
If, and it's still a big if, the Hurricanes can come back from down 3-0 to beat the Rangers in advance of the Eastern Conference Finals, I would love to see what that money price is on the Canes for that series outright. Anna's prediction out west, looking pretty good. Dallas, a minus 140 favorite to win the Western Conference crown, and it seems like it's going to be a battle between the Oilers and the Canucks. And in the final minute of this segment, let's talk Conn Smythe Award odds right now. 2 goaltenders at the top, Igor Shesterkin from New York, Jake Ottinger from Dallas. Who gets your pick at this moment?
Between those two, probably Jake Ottinger, but I want to give a shout out right now to the way Wyatt Johnston's playing. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. I think Wyatt Johnston, if Dallas Stars win the Stanley Cup, and they're looking really solid right now. They're the most solid team I've seen as of late. He's right up there as well, guys. Got a better number on him for sure.
14-1 for Wyatt Johnston, the young 21-year-old who scored twice last night as Dallas beat Colorado in Denver. Anna Dua from the NHL. As always, we appreciate the time. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.